I'm from Boston and I want to be able to go home. So, you got to get it right.
Michael, where are you? You're at the beach.
That's right. But Zooming with me is a day at the beach. Absolutely.
I love that. I didn't even recognize you in this role. What
Fabulous.
physical I was like, I thought Michael Chiklis was in this. What physical transformations did you go through for this part?
Honestly, hair and makeup and wardrobe were huge and integral with this. And then the cherry on top was that stogie. I think, he was just so specific. He had this very gaudy appearance, and it was part of his character and something that we all, as Bostonians, loved. I was born, raised, and educated in the Boston area, and I went to Boston University from 81 to 85, right as this blew up. So I bore witness to this whole thing. And, from a physical transformation standpoint, it was just a way of holding myself and wearing all of this stuff. And it was just, again, once I got into that wardrobe and lit up that stogie, I had slipped into the jacket.
You've done things that fans love: Shield, Gotham, Fantastic Four. Where does Winning Time rank just in terms of responsibility and pressure to get it right, especially since you are playing a real person?
Well, high, because like I said, I'm from Boston and I want to be able to go home. So, you got to get it right. I think I've had the opportunity to play some iconic people in my life. I've played John Belushi and Curly Howard in the Three Stooges movie and a number of different actual living people. The Commish, this is a living person. So I think that one of the things I've learned over the years is if you do the research and you approach it from a place of respect and deference and reverence for those people and their stories, and as long as you approach it from that place, that you're pretty safe.
Well, you were fantastic. And speaking of fantastic, there's a lot of talk of Fantastic Four popping up in the MCU soon. I'm curious do you like my transitions? I'm curious what the biggest piece of advice you would give to the next actor to take on Ben Grimm.
Go CGI if you can. That wardrobe was something else, but it was still a pretty amazing experience. Understand the tone and tenor of the Fantastic Four is as we did it. It's not meant to be dark and brooding. It's never going to be the Dark Knight. Don't try to make it that. Don't expect it to be that. The ever-loving blue-eyed thing was from Brooklyn, and he was a Dodgers fan, and they were a sweet family. That's the way it's meant to be. It wasn't meant to be hardcore and dark and brooding. If you try to make it that, you will fail.
Well, this entire cast was fantastic. And just diving in, I kept diving into like Wikipedia holes after each episode. I'm curious what you were most surprised to learn was absolutely true when you were diving into this series.
About Red or about just anything?
I think anything, yeah.
Well, just the things about Jerry Buss. I didn't know that he was an outsider, that he was a guy who became wealthy outside of basketball and as an investor and in other areas, and that he really a hole or an opportunity to exploit the entertainment aspects of sport. He was brilliant in this way. I think that what he did with the Showtime Lakers has had a massive effect on all sports across all leagues in terms of how they sell the sport as entertainment. He understood the man in the arena. He understood that ancient propensity for and desire to watch a rivalry and clash, and he got that. If you think about that time, if you think about 1979, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and this guy's enjoying himself, and you couldn't recreate that today. You couldn't. It's just a different time. And here you had Red Auerbach, who represented, the old school, the old guard. He was, the orthodoxy of sport, East Coast discipline, work ethic. And here comes this flashy Hollywood guy with charisma and, like, hey there, hi there, ho there, with his leisure suits buttoned down to his navel. They were perfect opposing rivals. And it just made for great entertainment. And that has had this influence, this lasting influence on all sports and sports rivalries.
Definitely fascinating. Well, that is my time. So lovely talking to you. Thank you for everything.
Pleasure, Ash.
Thanks.
Nice to
Take
meet
care.
you.